Thank you for joining us for Pet Connect. I'm Tara Douglas. I know I talk about the shelter and dog walking Saturdays every week, but I do want to mention what happened at the shelter this past weekend. We had a local girl, Hadley Lacey. She was 10 years old this past week, and she had a birthday party and raised money for the shelter. She brought a bunch of supplies, and she also brought the party to the shelter. So we had about 24 adults and 16 kids walking dogs and interacting with the dogs, and it was just an amazing day. We were able to get every dog out. A lot of the dogs that needed some interaction were able to have extra time, and it was just wonderful. Everybody had just a great time. The staff enjoyed seeing it. The dogs enjoyed it, of course, and it was just amazing to look out and see that community support. So as always, thank you so much to the community for support. Thank you to the Lacey's for thinking about this idea and having Hadley and all of her friends out there and all the parents out there to help. And of course, come out on Saturdays. We walk the dogs from 11 to 1, and it will be less busy this Saturday, but certainly we always need some help. And if you come out, you can meet our available pet of the week. We have Cora. She is a young dog. She's less than a year old, and she came to the shelter not terribly long ago with another dog. They were picked up roaming the streets. And she is very shy. She is a super sweet dog, but her street mate was very confident, and they shared a kennel, and that other dog gave her the confidence that she needed. Well, now that dog has been adopted. So now Cora is by herself, and we just want to make sure that she has an opportunity to find her a great home. She is really, really, really good dog. She is just sweet and just loves to cuddle, and she loves the volunteers, as you can see in that picture. And if you want to come out, please come and meet her, because we need to find her a home. And even if you want to foster her, that would be wonderful, just to give her an opportunity to have her personality come out. So this Saturday, 11 to 1. Now we're going to get to our special guest today. I have Deborah Foster here. She is a local artist. She's on the Comer Museum board, and we've got quite a bit to talk about. So Deborah, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
So, we've been discussing, we're going to talk about your animals also, but let's talk about the museum first and your art. You do some beautiful art. So how did you get into painting?
Well, thank you. My first step, we moved here in 2007. I attended a paint-along class at Comer Museum.
Okay.
And discovered I could paint. And I've met some wonderful artists. I was taking classes with Dottie Holdren, who is a wonderful local artist. And it just kind of snowballed from there. So I have a lot of gratitude to the museum.
And there's so many good programs there, and so many things the museum has been doing lately. So I saw that, and you were telling me about also the Ghost Girls, the Southern Ghost Girls came, and you had an activity there where they did some ghost hunting. I see all kinds of activities that go on quite a bit. So tell us a little bit about what's been happening at the museum.
Well, it's always something. We've got amazing art up all the time. We try to focus on local artists. And of course, Ghost Girls was crazy. And our 11th annual car show's coming up. It has turned out to be our biggest fundraiser, and it brings people from all over.
That's great. And that's this Saturday, March 2nd, correct?
Yes, yes.
Now, and we've got, it's 9 to 2, is that correct? Or
yeah, I believe that's what it is.
right
My memory
yes.
is not the best.
It is 9 to 2. I just peeked on our flyer here. Now, how many cars and motorcycles for the show?
Right.
And you have vendors too.
We've got about 8 vendors, I believe, and we expect at least 100 cars. A lot of our regulars show up the morning of to register, so we never have a good count until that morning.
Okay. And it's there at the museum property?
Yes. We have our parking lot full of some really amazing cars and motorcycles.
That's great. So I hope everybody comes out. We've got Chris put up a flyer for us. So this
good.
Saturday, March 2nd, 9 to 2. And the weather should be good, so we don't have to worry about that rain date on there. So that's wonderful. And that should be a lot of fun. Just visit the vendors, and we got the Kiwanis Club having their pancake day across the street. So we should have a lot of people milling around and enjoying that day.
And I think, I may be wrong, but I think we have never been rained out. Of course, I just opened my mouth. I made trouble.
We'll pretend like you didn't say that.
I didn't say that. No.
It is not going to rain this Saturday.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. And if it does, then we're going to delete this portion of the interview so no
yes,
one will know
yes.
that you mentioned it. Now, well, let's get back because we talked. You're there at the museum and part of their board, and there's so much going on there. People need to go and visit it because
absolutely.
Judy's done an amazing job with everything there and being able to see a lot of our local history, a lot of history about local people too.
Yes.
Now you've got the room where you have all of the art displayed and display local art. So let's talk more about your art. Where do you sell it? How can people meet you and find out what you have?
Gosh, I do have a website or a Facebook page. Excuse me. It's My Poor Life.
And here's some of your
Oh, there are my Dancing Through the Blues.
Those are beautiful.
Thank you.
And so it's My Poor Life. Okay.
And I can always be contacted through the museum.
Okay.
And I do local shows, like I will be at fairly local, Patton Creek, coming up in April. I'll be there.
And where's Patton Creek?
It's in Hoover.
Okay.
And then Russell Lands, they have Art on the Lake
Okay.
in May,
Okay.
and I'll be there also.
And I love this cow you painted. Jonathan and I were talking about that last night.
Yeah, I kind of fell in love with her. I leave Thursday for my first out-of-state show. I'll be in Florida, in the area we used to live in. So I've been frantically trying to get things together, and I'm a nervous wreck. We'll just see how it goes.
I'm sure it'll go great. You have so many beautiful things that you paint, and I
you.
just enjoy seeing your art.
Thanks so
And
much.
so, My Poor Life, if anyone wants to find your Facebook page. But of course, if you want to see some of Deborah's art, then contact the museum. They know who she is. So.
They'll hunt me down.
Now, let's talk about your dogs. We've got a picture.
Oh, that's Miss Pixie.
Miss Pixie looks rotten.
She is
She's
so
spoiled.
rotten. This was at Christmas. Our granddaughter, that was a container that held some slime, and Pixie claimed it, and she played with it all week.
I think a lot of times they love the junk that they find more than their
Yes.
expensive toys they get.
Her favorite is a pine cone.
Yeah.
And that's our Max and Tucker. Max is a white miniature schnauzer.
Okay.
Tucker is a schnoodle.
Okay.
And we're schnauzer people.
Okay.
And when someone hears of a schnauzer that needs to be rehomed, they always get us, and that's how we got Maxie.
Okay.
And he's been a joy. That's in my art room. They like to help. And that's Max with our kitty, Big Yellow. He loves his kitty, but the kitty's like, really?
Big Yellow looks bigger than
He
him.
is. He's quite large. Oh, we're back to the cat.
Back to the cat. I know it's so funny to watch dogs and cats interact because we've got a foster puppy right now that drives our cats crazy, but they seem to sort of like it. Like they come to him to get him to jump on them and lay on them. So it's I think that they can certainly get along and enjoy life together.
Yeah, I think when ours first started, when Max first started going after the cat, you would hear the cat just squalling like he was being killed. And I would tell Max, no. But then I realized if the cat didn't like it, he could take care of himself.
That's what I keep
So
thinking with
I
our
just let him go at it, and it is a free-for-all.
And now they lay on a chair together and sleep, and you can get good pictures of them.
Absolutely.
Well, we certainly appreciate you coming on the show today, and everybody, please look for Deborah's art. You can find it displayed at the museum periodically, and then go to some of these local art shows and support local art, and then you can see these beautiful paintings that you've painted. And,
Thank you.
And come out to the Comer Museum this Saturday also, March 2nd. Make sure you come on out and support the museum and see all of these interesting cars and motorcycles, and support all of the vendors that are there. And we have ordered a beautiful day.
Yes, we have.
So it will be a beautiful day. And then when you get done there, you can start at Pancake Day, move over to the museum, and then slide over to the animal shelter and help us walk dogs. And then you can be done and circle back to the museum. So
Just have
I've
a
got
wonderful
everybody's
day.
Saturday planned.
Absolutely.
And so thank you so much again. And
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for Pet Connect, and we'll have more Daybreak after these messages.
Dear humans, I stand here today not for myself, but for every tail wagger, sloppy kisser, and curtain ninja. I stand here for each one of the thousands of dogs and cats killed in shelters each day, asking you to join our cause and help us make sure every best friend has a chance to meet one of their own. With Best Friends Animal Society leading the charge, and your help, we can save them all.